As you creep through the dank corridor, guided by your torchlight, you come to a set of heavy metal doors. With a hefty push, the doors fly open. As your torchlight breaches the darkness you see.
Hey everyone, today we wanted to show you how we built our Gamemaster screens. We did them in a frame and panel style, similar to most kitchen cabinets, because it gives great stability and lots of options for personalization. For our design, we'll be making 3 panels, 2 7 inches wide and 1 16 inches wide, all 10.5 inches high. The first option we wanted was magnetic whiteboard on the back side, which we picked up at a local office supply store. We went with solid cherry wood for the front side, as we're going to laser engrave ours and we like the way cherry looks laser engraved. Other wood options include veneered plywood, plain plywood that's perfect for personalization. One of the easiest ways to personalize it is to print out graphics onto a high quality paper, glue it right to the plywood, and you have millions of options for personalizing your Gamemaster screen. If you're artistically talented, you could just draw your own images right onto the plywood. Don't want to go with wood? Plastic is another great option. You can get plastic that looks like metal, or wood, or even stone. You can even get mirrored plastic, so your players can reflect on their bad choices. Just be creative. There's tons of choices on how you can make your panels. Since we wanted magnetic whiteboard on the back, we started by stripping the frame off of the whiteboard that we purchased. We put a metal cutting blade into our table saw and cut the panels to size. Since we wanted solid cherry wood for our front, we started with some 1-inch thick cherry, cut it to length, and for the width we cut it just over half of the height of the panels. Most people don't have a large resaw bandsaw like this, so we're going to show you another option. Set our table saw blade to full height and ran the piece through once on each side to create 2 panels. Where they joined wasn't quite perfect, so we took a 32nd of an inch off the 2 joining sides to get a perfect fit. We glued them up and then ran them through the sander to take them down to the final thickness, which was about 1/4 of an inch. We then trimmed them to the same panel size as we did the whiteboard. We then glued the whiteboard to the cherry board. Gave them a quick sanding, and then off to the laser engraver. With our panels done, it was time to make the frames. I cut a piece of 1-inch thick walnut wood at 32 inches long, and then sliced it down into strips 1 1/4 inches wide, 5 strips in total. I then cut the 45s on each of the different pieces. In all, we cut 2 pieces at 17 3/4 inches, 6 at 12 inches, and 4 at 8.5 inches. We put the dado blade in the table saw and set the height to 1/2 inch. We ran the piece through once each way to center the groove in the piece. You'll have to make your width to match your panels, which is just about a maximum of a 1/2 inch thick panel. We then glued up the 3 panels. We ran the finished panels through the sander just to make sure everything was the same thickness and smooth. We then did some finish sanding on the panels with the random orbit sander and by hand. Now it was time to install the hinges. You want to start by taking your hinge and measuring from the center of the leaf to the center of the first hole. You're going to mark the edge of your panel to match that distance, and in about 1.5 inches from the top or bottom. It's best to take some time here to make sure your measurements are accurate and your hinges go on straight. A little bit of extra time here can save you a lot of hassles later. I did a little additional shaping while it was assembled. Also while assembled, I measured 1 inch in from the end of each leaf and placed a reference mark across both pieces. I was now able to remove the hinges. From those reference marks made earlier, I marked down the backside of the panel and then halfway down the width of the frame and placed a mark. We used these marks to make magnetic close. We put a 1/2 inch Forstner bit into the drill press and drilled down the thickness of one of our rare earth magnets. We glued them in, making sure that the side panels and the main panel went in opposite polarities. On the router table, I put a 1/4 inch groove 1/2 inch deep into the top of the main panel. This is for a secret add-on that we have coming later that we'll show you in an upcoming video. We then did some final sanding on everything to get it ready. We covered the whiteboard in painter's tape to protect it from the finish. We then took it over to the spray table and sprayed everything multiple times with a high gloss lacquer. All that was left to do was remove the tape and then reinstall the hinges. And we're done. There's the backside of our board with the magnetic whiteboard. These are the designs we came up with, but be creative. Print off artwork and glue it on. Draw your own, or find someone local to laser engrave for you. But no matter what, have fun gaming. Please hit like and subscribe. And if you watch our channel, you'll find out what that secret groove is in the top of the main panel in an upcoming video.